You are now watching a Lucky Penny Shop product feature. Hey, it's Lucky Penny Shop. Thanks for stopping by this video today. As you can see, I have an in the box 1965 The Bee Says See and Say talking toy by Mattel. Now, I have had this for quite a while, never shown it on video because, sadly, it does not work. So today's video is going to be to see if I could take this apart, check out the inside, and possibly get it working. Now, let me just show you. It was kind of like a very early version where it was try me on the box. Look, there is a little hole there on the side where it says, pull the chatty ring, and then you were able to hear the see and say. I'll do that shortly here. It just doesn't work. Here is the side, just so you can see how it doesn't work. Enjoyed most at ages 2 to 6. A tested preschool toy by Mattel. And then I like to show all the different sides of the box, just that if there's any other little details, I don't want to miss it out. Oh, very nice. A whole bunch of information here. Check that out. The Bee Says See and Say talking toy by Mattel. This is how you look, listen, and learn. Turn dial clockwise and point B to the picture you want to hear. Gently pull chatty ring out as far as possible and let it go. Listen. The bee will tell you the name of the picture you selected and the first letter of the word. Important. Be sure to aim pointer exactly at center of picture space for accuracy. You will hear that picture when you pull the chatty ring. You then dial a new picture and listen and learn all over again. You can play with this See and Say toy either by standing it up or laying it flat on its back. No batteries required. As you see, the date there says 1965. Let's get this down on the table. I will get it out of the box. Now, sadly, I will show you that it does not work, and it's very dirty, so I will do some cleaning on this as well. Okay, so you can play on its back, or like I said, standing up, whichever you prefer. So let me do it this way, and then you'll see what's going on. Watch what happens. Okay, that's the problem. So then I thought, well, let me just slow the spin down and see if we get any sounds. So there's a little squeak. Okay. So it wants to say something. Okay, so then you look at it and say, all right, how am I going to get in this? I really don't know. There are no screws on the back. Oh, by the way, there's something in there, so that could be the problem. Something may be broke. It says Mattel Inc. Toy Makers on the back. And then no screws on this at all. There is a date right there. I believe it says 1964 Mattel Inc. And then I thought, well, maybe it's this, but this is connected to that. There's a white stamp there. And then sometimes they will put the screw holes behind the labeling that's on here, and I've searched all around. You kind of push to see if you can find a screw hole. There is none. Then you think, well, maybe that comes out. There isn't. So what I'm basically figuring out is that this is glued on, so I'll have to, I did one little test to see if I can slowly start to peel this apart so I can get inside. So that's what I'm going to do. But first, I want to get some tools, and then I will come back, and then I will carefully start to take this apart. Now, I am going to be using some sharp tools. That's the only way I can see without damaging it completely on the exterior. Now, there's going to be some issues on the inside, so I'll have to see what happens when I get in. So I will be right back. Alright, so I will be using some sharp tools. I'll do most of this off camera, but I'm just giving you an idea what I am doing. Now, I have taken quite a few toys apart, and I've used this process before, so I am experienced, but I'll still put up a warning. This is not something I expect anybody to try, but as you can see now, I've created a little gap here. I've taken a very sharp razor blade. It's the thinnest thing I have, and just kind of carefully and slowly worked my way through to see if I can feel where the connecting points are. Okay, and there's probably one right there, and then look how nice this slides through here. So I'm being very careful, and then I will do this now and continue my way around. The first reveal once I get this open will be on camera. I'll wait, so let me get to that point. I'll get a little bit more cut through here and all the way around, and then I can kind of figure out exactly what I need to do. Alright, so I am switching tools now. I have gone through the perimeter with the cutting tool. Now there are going to be, from what I'm experiencing, some pins or more plastic that needs to break here. So I'm definitely breaking what's inside, but hopefully I can glue this back together. So I'm just taking now this kind of drywall scraper or putty knife, and I'm kind of knocking it down to see if I can break into it, and just keep finding my way down. There's those pins until I see inside, which I've never seen on the inside one of these, exactly what's holding it. Next time it'll make this a lot easier, so then I'll know exactly where. I hear even more bits of plastic now falling in and around, so I'm going to continue on, and I will keep checking back on this. All right. Okay, so the exterior is now ready to pull apart. I'm just trying to figure out how to get further into this. There are these pins. This was all holding it in different spots. As to where they all are, there's one there, and then I think there was an inner ring that was glued as well. So now I might have to take the B off. It still works. So I need to figure out that next step. So I'll keep going till I figure that out. There were 4 pins. See these here? These are going to have to be re-drilled out. Hopefully it's fixable. We will see. Ooh, but that is your mechanism there. So now, let's see. Okay. So there should be a speaker in here, right? Oh, so that's all twisting and turning. This has got felt on one side. Let's see if this just lifts up. It does not, so that's going to have to be reset. But this cone here is the speaker. Look, there's a bunch of this black stuff that's definitely having issues. Now, how does it know? Oh, so that's still connected to the B. This has got to be pressed on. So then that's part of the actuator. And then there's another spinner in here. So this should actually be glued back onto this, and then hopefully we can get into it. Let's see. Okay, so the B part, he does turn now that I have it in this position. Alright, so I'm going to keep investigating this and see if I can continue to take it apart. But as you can see now, all of these pins all the way around, you'd have to crack all of them to get into the case. And the only way to do that is to put pressure on it. So you're going to get some chipping and cracking. I think that's unavoidable, but once it's back together and glued tight and maybe fill in some of the seams, you probably got it back together. But I'm not sure if I can do this one. Let me see. Okay, so I have been taking Windex, spraying it in sections like this, and then just taking a little Q-tip and going around and cleaning. I just haven't done any of that really on camera yet, just because I don't know if you want to see me do that or not. Okay, and it's been getting off quite a bit of dirt, so
next time, won't you sing with me? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me?
alright, before I show you the mechanism and all of that, I'm just going to clean up some of the front. One thing I did notice, of course, I'm never going to spray right on the actual paper, but you can spray a little bit, not too wet, and then you will see how much comes off of the front. I did notice when I was checking out the B, I gotta clean him, he's got a little stop mechanism on him. He'll turn this way, like he's supposed to turn, but then when you start going the opposite way, it locks in. So that probably keeps kids from turning this the wrong way on the dial. Alright, and then I'm gonna finish cleaning the exterior. I've done most of the interior. Pretty happy with the results. And we will see. This is actually coming out really nice. Let me get where the B says. You kind of see it looks a little dingy there. Let's see if we can brighten that up. Wow, I just can see the difference already. Look at the amount of dirt that came off that. So if we don't get it working again, at least we have a nice clean toy. I'll be able to put it back together. And that's it. Alright, this says 1964 Mattel on the actual CNC. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so let me get into the mechanism now and talk to you about that. Alright, I have been cleaning. The inside looks really nice. I have just sprayed it with Windex. Most of it I just did off camera. Still a little bit wet in spots, so I'll let that dry up. Oh, and by the way, the B came out great. And then this side came out really nice. It's all done. I took a Q-tip, one of these really dirty ones, and I ran it around some of the edges. There's just a little bit in this area here I can get, but for now, we're good to go. Didn't that come out nice? And then the mechanism. This is what's going on. Now, I've had this apart a few times. The black stuff that was laying around is actually the band that's controlling the record player. See, there's a record in there. That's a little record. And then there's the needle. I'll show it to you in just a second. Let me hold this down. This is actually what's causing the needle to move. See this in here? This is the needle mechanism that's going when someone turns this to the letter that's going to set to the right spot on the record and play, of course, whatever they pick. A is for apple, B is for boy. And then that plays on the record. All right, let's get a little further now. When I dismantled this, remember all the pins? Well, all of the white ones broke. I believe they were glued in except for one. Oh, I don't want this to pop up. Let's try to lift this like this. Okay, I can do this. And then I can show you the needle. Let me give you a close-up of the needle. The needle is here. As you can see, this is the record player. I have cleaned it. There's the needle that sits in the grooves there. Now this I misdiagnosed as the motor, but it is a spinning object. That is what governs the speed, otherwise known as a speed governor. This here is actually just a protector for the string so that it stays in its spot. I think that's about all I can show you. Oh, the band itself that's broken went from this here to this here and then to the governor, and that's what was, that should spin, and as it spins, these little arms go whoosh, whoosh, and it squeezes or puts pressure on the outside of that plastic, and that's what slows it down to the right speed. Okay, so we're learning. I'm learning. I didn't know any of this till today. And then let's get this back in. It's just a matter of setting this on. Now, the only thing that I am not 100% set with is the tension on this mechanism. I don't know if you remember when I took the case off, it went, that was this relieving its tension. So I didn't really get a good documentation there. But that loops around there, and then when this is all down and in place, you pull it, and that governor should slow it down, but of course it's not working. Now, the speaker, which is this blue thing, has this little plastic. You can almost feel like it wants to be a speaker when you do that. That puts pressure on the top of this arm, and then that's what's actually moving the sound from the record to this little cone, and that's what makes the sound. All right, I think that pretty much explains it. So, will I be able to eventually glue this all back together? Yes. Can I fix this right now? No, I need something that will replace the band, and I can't even think of what would work. Possibly an O-ring. It'd have to be a big O-ring to go all the way around that and then work its way through those other two. So that's something I still need to figure out. So I'm stuck. There's not much more I could do. Sadly, But we got pretty far, and now I know how it works, and now I know the kind of band that I'm looking for. And it's a really cool looking CNC. Oh, there's the stopper. See, that kind of would go into there. I'll have to get this all set. I don't want to put it on now till I decide on the band, but once that's back in, then it's back to being a CNC. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. I had fun. And then what I probably would do is once I glue this all back together, I'd seal this up, and then I'd be good to go. So, if I ever do find the correct size band, I will come back and revisit this toy and see if I can finalize it for you. Kind of sad, but the learning part for me is very important. So if I ever get one of these again, I'll know exactly how to get into it quicker. More than likely, it's going to have the same problem, which is just part of having an old toy. Again, thanks for watching and supporting Lucky Penny Shop. This was another one of those how-to videos, but I never really finished it. And thanks for watching. Later. If you're looking for the item you just saw in the video, click here. Watch more videos by clicking here. Don't forget to share on social media and give a thumbs up.
Hey, LPS-Dave.
What's up, Butch?
Make sure they don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah, please click here to subscribe to Lucky Penny Shop. And always remember, when you see a lucky penny,
Pick it up.